All right, so this is an introduction to circuit training. Almost think of it as like circuit training 101. We thought it may be good to provide just a general overview video of what circuit training is before you actually attempt to watch or do the circuits themselves or the exercises themselves. Just because this training modality is so different than from what you guys are used to doing, especially with us in the weight room, right? So if you think of like normally when you come into the weight room, we hand you a sheet of paper and let's just say it says dumbbell bench on it for 3 sets of 10. You do your 1 set of dumbbell bench and then you rest, and then you do your 2nd set of dumbbell bench and then you rest, and then you do your 3rd set of dumbbell bench, and then you move on to a completely new exercise, right? So you do all of the reps, all the sets of that one exercise before you move on to the next thing. Circuit training works totally different, right? You're still doing, let's just say, for example, your 3 sets of 10 with dumbbell bench, but you're staggering it, right? So if you look at one of the Excel sheets, you're gonna see a bunch of arrows and 1 through 9 and easier, harder options, and it might be like a little overwhelming. Don't let it be, right? It's very simple. Hopefully after I'm done explaining this and you get to watch me do a couple of the circuits and you do it yourself one time, trust me, it's simple, you'll be good to go. So if you're looking at one of those sheets and you see the arrows top to bottom and the 1 through 9, all you're essentially doing is working from one exercise to the next with minimum rest or no rest at all, right? So going back to, let's just say you're starting with that dumbbell bench, you're not doing then a 2nd set of dumbbell bench, you're then following that 1st set of dumbbell bench up with a lower body exercise, maybe like a single leg squat. And then after that single leg squat, then we're doing reverse push-ups. And after reverse push-ups, we're doing split squat jumps and so on and so forth. And so you go all the way through the sequence of 1 through 9, working your way top to bottom of the sheet. And that whole sequence of 9 straight exercises that you're done with minimal or no rest is considered one round, right? And if you look at the columns, you're gonna see that there's 3 rounds that are listed. So you work your way through those 9 exercises, you take a little break, you go back to the top, you do your 2nd round, you do all your exercises, you take another break, and then you do your 3rd round, and that's the whole circuit workout. So let's talk about advantages and disadvantages, because especially if you've never done this before and you're trying to figure out what the heck am I gonna do for the next 6 weeks or so, right? Understanding like what are the pluses and minuses of this might help with your decision, right? So let's talk about advantages. Some of the advantages are you get a nice cardiovascular, because you're resting minimally, you get a little bit cardiovascular kick, a little bit endurance kick. You also don't necessarily need a lot of equipment, right? So you can kind of make do with whatever you have with the different, even if it's just body weight. You also get what's called they're dense workouts. So because you're doing a lot of reps in a short period of time, think of it like a fire. We're taking that fire and we're burning it really, really hot, right? Because we're not resting at all. We're just going, right? For that half an hour, 35, 45 minutes, however long it takes you to go through the whole sequence, all those 3 rounds, right? The other benefit of that is we get a little bit more in-workout calorie burn than we would get with a traditional lifting. So a lot of us don't realize, but when we do our traditional lifting like you guys do with us, right? You don't burn a lot of calories during the workout itself. A lot of the calorie burn that you get is the residual impact. So what that means is like the energy your body uses or needs to repair the muscles that you tore from your lift, right? A lot of it is after the lift itself, where because you're resting minimally, you're getting that endurance kick from it, you actually get a little bit more in-workout burn than you would with a traditional lift, and you still get a little bit of that residual after calorie benefit because you are still lifting and tearing and repairing muscles, right? So those are the advantages. The big disadvantage was a giant one, really. It's that you can't lift heavy, right? So if you think about when we're in the weight room and we're about to do like 1 set of bench or 1 set of squat, and we're gonna crush it, we're getting fired up, and we're like, hey, we're gonna give you guys an extra 45 seconds, an extra minute of recovery time before we do this really, really heavy set. And you need it. Your body needs that to prepare yourself to lift that really heavy weight, right? So if you're doing circuit training and you're resting minimally, you just can't lift heavy, right? You're gonna overwhelm yourself, you're gonna overstimulate your body, and you're gonna crash, right? You're gonna burn yourself out, so you just can't do it. But considering the current circumstances, right, and acknowledging that we might not even have access to heavy weights right now, like we might not have 200, 300, 400 pounds to put on our back to squat or bench or hang clean, this might be a good fit for you guys, and another reason why we wanted to get this to you as an option. So Hopefully now you have a general overview of what circuit training is, whether you think it'd be a good match for you. Hopefully you're starting to get that a general idea. If you're interested, or you think, hey, I'm ready to go, let's get after this, then I would move on to the next videos that show the demos. So the accompanying videos with this will show me doing the circuits themselves. I'm going to demo the exercises, do a couple reps, show how to differentiate within each one. So what that means is how to make it maybe a little bit easier for me to, or a little bit harder. And also talk about some of the nuances of circuit training, like how hard to push, recovery, and all that kind of stuff, okay? Any questions, hit us up. Good luck, everybody.